Have you ever wondered why people fall in love with you? Not just like a little crush or a passing attraction, but that deep kind of connection where someone feels magnetically pulled toward you, almost like they can't help themselves? At first, it seems like it must be about your looks, your smile, or maybe your personality. And sure, those things do matter. But the truth is, love usually goes way deeper than that. When someone falls in love with you, it's rarely about what's on the surface. It's about something inside, something invisible that they feel, even if they can't explain it. And honestly, most of the time, they're not even aware of what's happening. But if you pay close attention, there's always a reason, a hidden reason, why someone feels that strong pull toward you. Now, many of us grow up thinking love is random, like lightning striking out of nowhere. You meet someone, sparks fly, and you call it fate. But love isn't just luck. It has its own hidden logic, and once you understand it, you'll see why certain people are drawn to you and why you're drawn to them. Think about your own life for a second. Have you ever met someone and felt instantly connected, even if you didn't know why? Maybe it happened in school, maybe at work, or maybe you just met them in a random place. Something about them just clicked. You couldn't put your finger on it, but it felt like you had known them forever. That's not just coincidence. That's something deeper inside of you being stirred awake. Here's the thing. All of us carry hidden parts of ourselves, parts we don't always show, parts we sometimes don't even realize are there. Maybe it's confidence, maybe it's softness, maybe it's freedom, or maybe it's the ability to feel safe enough to be vulnerable. And these hidden parts of us don't just disappear, they live in the background, quietly shaping who we're drawn to and who is drawn to us. So when someone falls in love with you, sometimes it's because you bring out something they've been missing. You become the reminder of what they secretly long for. For example, imagine someone who's always been very logical, very structured, maybe even a little rigid in how they live life. You meet them and you're playful, spontaneous, you bring lightness and fun into every room you walk into. Suddenly, they feel alive. It's not just that they like your energy, it's that you awaken a part of themselves they've been starving for without even realizing it. And it works the other way too. You might notice someone falling for you and think, but why me? I'm just being myself. But to them, you're not just yourself. You're a symbol of something they've been missing. You represent freedom or strength or compassion or even safety. That's why they're drawn to you on such a deep level. This is one of the first big reasons why people fall in love with you. You represent something they don't yet have or something they've hidden away. It's like you carry a piece of their missing puzzle. Now, let's go a little deeper. We all carry inner pictures of what love looks like. Even if you don't think about it, you have an inner blueprint of the kind of person you're drawn to. These images aren't random. They're shaped by your past, your family, your early experiences, and even the culture you grew up in. Over the years, that image gets stronger, and then one day you meet someone who fits it almost perfectly. That's why sometimes attraction feels so instant, so powerful, and honestly, a little irrational. It's like, why do I feel so strongly about this person? I don't even know them. But what's really happening is that they match that inner image you've been carrying deep down. They awaken something familiar. That's why it feels like destiny, or like you've known them forever, even though you just met. And here's where things get tricky. Sometimes when someone falls in love with you, they're not actually seeing you for who you are. They're seeing the idea of you, the role you play in their inner story. They see you as the answer to their longing or as the perfect match to that inner picture they've carried for years. That's why, in the beginning, people can feel like you're perfect. They'll say things like, "You're everything I've ever wanted," or "I feel like I've known you my whole life." But as time goes on, the real you begins to show up. Your flaws, your contradictions, your human side. And when that happens, the fantasy can begin to fade. The person realizes you're not the perfect image they projected onto you. That's when conflicts start. That's when disappointment sets in. And for many relationships, that's where the heartbreak happens. Now, before you think this is all negative, let me pause here and say something important. This isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's a necessary thing. Because even though projections can create illusions, they also serve as powerful mirrors. Love, even when it feels confusing or painful, is one of the biggest teachers in our lives. Every time someone falls in love with you, or every time you fall in love with someone else, it's not just about romance. It's about growth. It's about seeing yourself in a new way. It's about being challenged to evolve. Think about it. Have you ever had a relationship that changed you completely? Maybe it wasn't forever. Maybe it even ended painfully, but looking back, you can see that it taught you something important. Maybe it pushed you to grow confidence. Maybe it forced you to face your fears. Maybe it showed you what you will and will not accept and love. That's not random. That's love doing its deeper work. So when someone falls in love with you, you might just be the mirror they needed at that stage of their journey. You might awaken courage in them, or softness, or creativity, or self-awareness. And when you fall in love with someone else, they might be the mirror you need. Even the relationships that break your heart are not wasted. They're often the ones that shape you the most. Sometimes people come into your life to awaken what's been sleeping inside you. Sometimes they come to teach you lessons you've avoided for years. Sometimes they come simply to show you who you are through the reflection of their love or even through the pain of their absence. Not every relationship is meant to last forever, but every relationship has meaning. So, why do people fall in love with you? Two main reasons. Either you represent something they've been missing, or you awaken an image inside them that feels deeply familiar. But in both cases, the truth is, it's less about you as a person and more about what you represent to their inner world. Now, here's the danger. If people never realize this, they can stay stuck repeating the same patterns again and again. They fall for the same type of person, they get into the same kind of relationship, they face the same heartbreak over and over. And then they start thinking, maybe I'm unlucky in love. But really, it's not bad luck. It's just the unconscious mind repeating the same lesson until it's learned. The way to break free from this cycle is awareness. Once you start noticing your patterns, once you see what you're projecting onto others or what others might be projecting onto you, you stop chasing people to complete you. Instead, you begin to grow those missing parts in yourself. You become more whole on your own. And when you're whole, love changes. It no longer is about fantasy or fear of being alone. It becomes grounded, real, healthy. Love stops being about finding someone perfect and instead becomes about sharing your wholeness with another person who is also whole. That's the kind of love that lasts. So next time someone falls in love with you, or the next time you feel yourself deeply pulled towards someone else, pause and ask yourself, what is really happening here? What part of me or them is waking up right now? Because love isn't just about them. It's not even just about you. It's about what's being revealed in both of you. And when you start to see love this way, you realize something beautiful. Every connection, whether short or long, painful or joyful, is part of a much bigger journey. The journey of becoming yourself. If this resonated with you, if it made you think differently about love, please give this video a like and subscribe for more. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Why do you think people fall in love with you? Share your ideas in the comments because I love reading your perspectives. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Until next time, keep growing, keep loving, and keep discovering the hidden parts of yourself that are waiting to be seen.